Leadership. I would like to talk to you all about leadership from a different perspective. Leadership, for me, is impact. Most people talk about leadership about purpose. You'll hear purpose and you'll hear goals. I really want to talk about impact. I don't believe a leader is great unless he leads with the fact of getting to the end goal. Actually, my name is SenitaMHill. I am a project manager by trade for over 20 years. So I lead from the bottom up. I do not lead from the top, I lead from the bottom. What is the end goal? And so today, what I'm going to talk about and what I'm going to speak to you all about is leading to the goal, leading by getting to the goal, and I want to talk also about the process. How do we make an impact? That's one that I'm going to talk with you about. Two, what is the process for making an impact? And three, I'm going to tell you about a real life story that happened that I use to get to the impact. So, I'm SenitaMHill, and I lead SenitaMHill Consulting. In that organization, what we do is we lead people who are having difficulty with doubt. When you get to doubt, we start to sort of get down in the rut. And I'm going to start by saying we are in the climate of doubt. This climate that we have has created so much doubt in the women and the people in the government. I know this is the DMV, so you can see it. You can feel it. I said to someone, we've been taken down by the kneecaps. So that creates doubt for many of us. Many of us have had jobs that we were in for years, and we've either been cut or, as myself, put on furlough. However, we are not here to let the doubt stop us. Let SMH Consulting help you to move that doubt, move from doubt to clarity. That is what we do. We move from that place using a process that I term and that we use called reclaim. I'm going to talk about reclaim for a quick moment. Reclaim starts out with research. You take the research, and when I speak of research, many people think academia. We're not talking about academia. We're talking research. Boots on the ground, getting down in the dirt, finding out what it is you want to do. How do you do it? Getting with someone. I'm going to walk with you. We're going to talk. We're going to shadow you. That's research. And it's probably research that you've had if you are mature adult like myself. You have years of research. So let's start applying the research. And then you get into engagement. What does engagement look like? You research it. If we look at our children today, when they research, they do one button. Google. That's it. They don't do nothing with it. They just Google. Well, it's more than that. When you get into engagement, you have to have someone to engage with, to bounce it off. That is engagement. So then you move from engagement to talking with someone, actually working with them and going back and forth, applying. Then you then go into communication. Communication is not just a one-way street. You have now communicated with that person, you've researched it, you've engaged, but you continue to make the conversation. You continue to talk about the process that you want or that you wish to seek. What is your end goal? Again, we want to know, what is that? So when you look through your history, you'll see, oh my gosh, I've been talking to this person all the time. That person may have been the person that you're communicating with. So we talk communication, then you get into listening. Listening seems to be a hard one, because it's not just listening from a one-way perspective. Listening is two ways. It's also listening for what's not being said. A lot of times we only hear what's being said, but you have to hear the silence. And then we go from listening to application. When you get into the application and you start to apply it, now you're testing it. You're testing it a little bit here, you're testing a little bit there. And when you're doing that, now you're talking to others. If you did research correctly, you identified someone in the beginning that you can start to test it with by the time you get down to application. And then you have integration. When you're integrating it, that person that you identified or those persons that you identified in the beginning, they're still there. They should be showing up. We're here, we're talking. You have that person in the beginning of those persons that you picked up along the way, they're right there to tell you, this is right, this is not right. So then you have that last piece. But what is most important out of all of those is mentorship, giving it back. And that's reclaim. That is the reclaim method. You cannot hold on to anything without giving it back, especially in this culture and with this one. I believe in mentorship so hard. I believe in it. It is the source of us learning. And it's, you know, we got the, I'll say this a little bit, we have our new generation. Well, they teach us. When we start thinking that we're the only ones that know anything, you have missed the mark. They teach us, so we have to be open. And then we need to mentor them. We need to teach them how to talk, all those things, how to apply the reclaim method. That is all about teaching. So what I've just shared with you is how I got to apply reclaim and how we get to impact. So then I can share now with you how I took impact, the reclaim method, and placed it into a real life scenario. I told you about SMH Consulting. Now I'm going to tell you about another organization that I've started. It is called Peace on Patuxent. It's located here in Maryland. It is a nonprofit. And Peace on Patuxent, we term it as POPPY. It is a respite home for women diagnosed with cancer. Life-leveling cancers, that is a term that we use. Life-leveling cancers, any kind of cancer, because it will level it will offset the level of your life. It will cause you to doubt things. So Peace on Patuxent is a place where a woman can come and decompress at no cost with no worries. And when we talk about decompression, we talk about decompressing from her family, decompressing from the medical society, and decompressing from all of the pressures that we place on them, wanting them to run their race our way. Peace on Patuxent allows them to think about how they want to run their life their way. Now, we talk about research. That required research. It required engagement. It required communication. It required listening, application. All of those things came into to make Peace on Patuxent what it is today. It is an impact. It is making an impact in the women's lives that we know. Not only is it making an impact in DC, Maryland, and Virginia, it's making an impact in California. We now have people contacting us from California, willing, fourth stage cancer patients, willing to get on a plane on their days when they feel great, just to have 2 days of peace and silence, just to get in touch with themselves. That is awesome. For me, impact is leadership. You have to have measurable impact. I ask you, what is your impact? What impact do you want to make? I implore you to seek out an impact. Peace on Patuxent is just one way you can make an impact, but I'm quite sure there are other ways. And if you don't know how to make an impact, you can contact me, SenitaMHill, at SenitaMHill Consulting. Thank you.